Today, the high quality OC racing, cinematography, voiceovers, effects, and all of that jazz are getting thrown out the window. I have my camera in my hand, and I'm gonna go through my entire sim racing wheel collection. I'm gonna give you a full tour of OC Racing HQ. So first of all, you join me here in OC Racing HQ. To most of you, this is hopefully a familiar place. For those who are just seeing this for the first time ever, go watch my old videos. They're like classic at this point. But anyways, let's start off by talking about everything. And we're gonna start off with the OC Racing helmet. The helmet that I bought and made my mom paint, used once on track for a crazy cool video, and I haven't really touched it since. But it looks really cool. I have it proudly displayed, and let me know what you guys think of it in the comments. Next up, we have a Lego Lamborghini Sion, followed by a 488. Down here, we have some very old MOZA CRP pedals, I believe. And then over here, we have a Formula wheel for a Logitech G29. Next up here, we have the Conspit FP Lite cockpit. Now, it looks extremely bare bones right now, and that's because I don't have the monitor on it or any sim racing equipment. And the reason for that, I'll explain later. But the CRP cockpit, once all put together, is one of the coolest looking, which is why I have it in my room. In this seat, I have a Thrustmaster Sparkle Rally rim. And why is it thrown here? Well, that's because before, it used to be on display up here and it looked really cool. And what happened was, one day out of nowhere, the wall that was holding it up decided to not hold it up anymore. The entire shelf along with the wheel fell. It fell on my lamp. It broke the lamp. And so now I'm left with two holes on my wall, a lonely wheel up there, and a shelf and the Sparkle Rally rim here, pretty much wherever I could place it. Anyways, up here is the Ferrari 599XX Evo Alcantara rim from Thrustmaster. And then over here, this is where all the magic happens. This is pretty much where I spend 24 hours of my day editing, responding to emails, watching videos, eating, pretty much sleeping, you know, everything I do here. This is all powered by a MacBook Pro, which I use for school and then also use for editing. Here I do my voiceovers. Like I said, all my editing and everything you see is pretty much done right here. Back here I have some camera equipment that I use for my videos, microphones, action cameras, handheld cameras. The remainder of OC Racing HQ has a bunch of cool posters. This pretty powerful computer, which is the one that powers this rig when it's all functional. I mean, that is pretty much it. So OC Racing HQ is my bedroom. But trust me when I tell you that this is only the beginning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? This is OC Racing HQ. And by that I mean, this is my parents' basement, which I have pretty much taken over. But before we get to everything here, which trust me, we're going to go through everything, we need to start off at the beginning. So the beginning is actually right here. Now you might recognize this backdrop. This is where I get all the shots of the products with the white background, which looks super cool. But on this desk and underneath it, there's a lot of cool gear that we should go over, starting with the most important, the OC Racing cap. If you guys don't know, I have my own merchandise. It's actually really cool and I wear it like 99% of the time. Like it's fully embroidered, everything like that. Are you kidding? Anyways, you guys can buy that at shopocracing.com. But anyway, underneath that, we have the brand new Asher Racing McLaren wheel collaborations. And then behind it, we have the Tour Pro. Don't worry, these boxes don't have anything, so don't think that I'm slamming them. The reason these are right here is because these were the ones that I just currently reviewed. In fact, if you want to see full reviews of not just these, but literally every single product that I show today, you can find those on my channel. But anyways, next to that, we have the Asher Racing button cap replacements. These are all if you want to further customize your very expensive sim racing wheels. That's pretty much everything on the desk. Underneath it, you're gonna find the PXN V10 along with the steering wheel, the pedals, and then the shifter, which is somewhere in there. Down here is a button box for the GT DD Pro wheelbase from Fanatec. And talking about Fanatec, over here we have the Club Sport table clamp. This is the paddle shifters for the McLaren GT3 wheel, which I modified, so I don't need this anymore. And then over here we have brake mods for the Aztec pedals, the Fanatec Podium paddle module, and then over here is more stuff from Aztec, which I don't really know what it is. Over here, we have a bunch of tripods, a soccer ball for some reason. A lot of this is kind of just camera equipment. So batteries, and Allen keys. Over here, this is the Great Wall of Fanatec. Pretty much every single box here contained one of the new Fanatec QR2 quick releases. Yeah, there's a ton. And I didn't really know what to do with the boxes. So I kind of just stacked them up there and they've been sitting here for months. Over here we have my camera bag, and this is the house for the camera that I'm using right now, which is a Sony a7 Mark IV for those of you who care. Randomly right here we have a SimLab blue bucket seat. This was actually one of my all-time favorite sim racing seats. It's definitely tighter, so it doesn't fit everyone, but I love how it both looks and how it fits my body, so I have it here. On top of this ping pong table we have an HTC Vive Pro. We have VR controllers here. I don't know what they're doing there. And then moving over here, we're gonna have the collection of unopened boxes. This is a Thrustmaster T128. This is the new Turtle Beach direct drive system, which was funny because I actually bought this product with my own money. I made a review on it, and then a week later, Turtle Beach sent me one of themselves. So I just returned the one that I already bought and reviewed, and I kept this one, which I'm yet to open, but I do plan on reviewing this in the future once they get a lot of the things that I complained about sorted. So this is staying with me. Over here, we have the popular MOZA R12 wheelbase. On top of that, we have a PS4, which is super useful for when I need to test direct drive wheelbases that work with PlayStation. Over here, we have the Pimax headset, which I recently reviewed, next to another MOZA racing box. This is for the KS wheel, which I actually just got. Stay tuned for the review. Underneath that, the box for the DS8X Simagic shifter. Over here is the box for the Camus C12 wheelbase, with the box for the Camus pedal underneath. And then continuing along with Camus, this is the box for the C5, I believe it's called. And then these other boxes are kind of just filled with random stuff. So SRP light brake pedal performance kit, more stuff for the Camus wheelbases, and then these are caster wheels for next level racing. Anyways, so that's this pile of stuff. Moving over here, we have the main event. But before we get to the main event, we need to look at what nobody wants to look at. And this is the pile of Allen keys, nuts, bolts, pretty much everything that I don't know where it came from. I kind of just throw it into this pile, and then when I need to look for something, I kind of just frantically look through all of these bags until I find the exact thing I need. So organization is definitely not as good as it should be, but so far it's worked. So this kind of just stays here. Now let's get into the main event, and we're going to start off with this small setup over here. You guys have probably seen this a lot. This is the Fanatec CSL cockpit, which I was recently trying out. On it, I have a Fanatec Formula wheel with the QR2 Pro on the new Club Sport DD. Overall, this cockpit has done a pretty good job. It's not perfect, as I've talked about in my review, but I do like how it looks. On it, you'll also see the popular Thrustmaster TLCM pedals, and of course, the 49-inch Samsung Odyssey G9. As you guys remember seeing, the setup I have in my room had no monitor, and that's because I use that monitor to work with this rig. Powering this setup is a pretty mid-range computer with an RX 5700, I believe, and that's going to be used with the cockpits and new rigs that I test out that aren't my primary setups. But anyways, let's move on to this shelf, which is my newest addition to my setup. I bought this shelf like 2 weeks ago from IKEA, set it up, painted it in white, and now it stores a lot of the gear that was previously kind of just scattered around everywhere. Starting off with the top shelf here we're gonna have the direct drives. This one is the Club Sport DD Plus. Followed along here is the MOZA R9, and then the Simagic Alpha Mini. The second shelf is going to store a bunch of shifters. This is the new one from Thrustmaster, the popular one from MOZA, the insanely famous Logitech shifter, the DS8X from Simagic, and the TH8A from Thrustmaster. The reason I keep all of these is so that I can compare them to one another, and also because people like seeing updated reviews on a lot of these, so I don't usually get rid of them. And then over here are the Thrustmaster T3PA pedals that came with the T300 RS GT wheel that I recently reviewed. But then underneath here, we're really going to find more pedals. These are the pedals that came with the Logitech G29. These came with the Logitech G923. And then these are the pedals that came with the Thrustmaster T248. It's crazy to me how I can remember all of these names, but I can't remember like math problems and stuff when I actually need to in exams. But anyway, down here we have two boxes. These are the boxes for the Thrustmaster T818 direct drive. And now this is going to spark a lot of talk. This is the MOZA Racing R3. Yes, this is the wheel for MOZA Racing that works with Xbox and that nobody knows what happened with. So the reason why MOZA Racing has never actually released this wheel, despite announcing it and promoting it like crazy, is really interesting, and I will explain that in a 60-second short form video on my Shorts channel. So I'm going to be uploading that video very soon, or maybe it has already been uploaded. So if you want to know why the MOZA R3 has never gone for sale, subscribe to my new OC Racing Shorts YouTube channel and you'll find the video explaining everything there. But anyways, yes, this is an unopened MOZA R3 bundle. Over here we have, I actually don't know. Oh, this is the box for the Simagic GT Neo. And then over here we have an unopened Houston Vault handbrake. You might have thought that was everything for the shelf, but underneath the shelf there's even more boxes. That's a box for the MOZA SRP pedals, I believe. This is the box for the Cube Controls SRP pedals, which are a crazy expensive pedal set that costs more than all of these combined. And then that white box over there is the box for the BDH shifter, which I have mounted on my main rig. Anyways, oh my god, I'm out of breath. Up here we have the insanely popular Thrustmaster Sparko handbrake. This is the box for the Fanatec Club Sport Formula V 2.5. Underneath it is the box for the Club Sport Steering Wheel F1 Edition. Next to that is the brand new MOZA KS wheel. I actually got this one in yesterday and I'm going to be reviewing it very soon, so stay tuned for that. The La Prima wheel from Acetec, the Simagic GT Neo, next to the very expensive Asher Racing McLaren Artura Ultimate, and next to that is the insanely underrated Thrustmaster Ferrari 488 GT3 replica. So yeah, this is like the wall of Formula wheels. And then here to its right is going to be the wall of round wheels. This is the MOZA Racing, I don't remember what it's called, but that's the MOZA Racing round wheel, full leather, very nice. This right here is the brand new round wheel by Thrustmaster. Next to that is a Fanatec round rim. Next to that is another Fanatec round rim, except that this one has the included button box. The cool thing about this button box is that if I wanted to, I could swap it out for this rim, or I could swap it out into this rim, which is also from Fanatec, and it's more of a go-karting rim. Anyways, next to that, we have the, I don't actually remember what this company was called. This was a company that made third-party wheels for Logitech wheelbases. I don't know if they're still making them, but I like the look of this U-shaped wheel, and so I left this here. And then right here is, of course, the new wheel that came with the Club Sport DD Plus bundle. So this is the more expensive version of this, which is the Fanatec wheel, which came with the GT DD Pro. On the left of that is the Ferrari SF 1000 Formula wheel, and then next to that is going to be the Fanatec F1 Esports rim, which is actually fairly affordable, and yeah, it's a cool wheel. Anyways, back to the right, we have the Simagic round wheel, the Fanatec go-kart wheel, which I talked about, and then of course, the insanely famous Fanatec McLaren GT3 rim, which I completely modify. For those of you who remember that video is a classic.
The guy that you need to talk to just went in the bathroom.
Okay.
He's been out on a boat, so he might be in there a few minutes.
Anyways, my arm's getting so tired. Underneath that, we have headphones, a bunch of spare parts for cameras, my shoes that I use in my videos, a keyboard mount, aluminum profile. This is all kind of stuff that I don't know what to do with. As you can see, I try to keep organized, but it's really, really hard to. Anyways, now moving on to the main rig. This should be very familiar for you guys who watch my review videos. Right now, and for the last several months, I've been using the new Trak Racer TR160. I love this cockpit because it is a very shiny blue. It looks really cool and unique in videos, and I love how different it looks from all of the other black cockpits that I've used before. Anyways, on it, I have the Thrustmaster rally seat, which I really only have good things to say about. The extremely expensive BDH H-pattern shifter, a wireless mouse that costs like 50 cents, the Camus pedals whose box you saw over there before, the Acetec La Prima wheelbase, and then the wheel that is behind this cover is the Asher Racing McLaren Artura Pro that I just reviewed. And this cover, this is a wheel cover made by SimShield. It protects your wheels from dust, debris, children, pretty much everything that could possibly harm your wheel, and it looks very sleek while not in use. The monitors here are from Pixio. They are 27-inch 144 hertz. I made a review on them. I think they're really good for the price. The fourth monitor up here is generic. It's 60 hertz. It costs like 50 bucks, but it does the job. Holding up these 4 monitors is the Trak Racer integrated monitor stand, which has done a great job. And on it, I have Logitech speakers. These are the Logitech G560. And not only do they have good sound, but they also have lights back here that kind of just reflect off this wall and look very cool once turned on. So that's pretty much everything made up in my main rig. This main rig I use for my iRacing series. I use to test gear. I pretty much use for everything. In contrast, the rig in my bedroom, I kind of just use for fun. So when I want to cruise around the Nordschleife, play in VR, stuff like that, that's what I do in my bedroom. This one is kind of for more serious applications. The powerhouse of a PC powering this has a 3090 Ti and pretty much like all the highest end gear to push everything I need for this channel. And now this shelf, I like to joke around and say that this shelf is the Hall of Fame. And the reason for that is because although these wheels are cheaper than pretty much every single one here, these wheels are like the holy grail of entry-level sim racing. Of course, the Logitech G29, the G923, the T300 RS, and the Thrustmaster T248. Pretty much whenever my channel is running low on views, I make a video on one of these wheels. It gets hundreds of thousands of views and I'm back. Anyways, yeah, these wheels I'm never getting rid of. This was one of my first ever wheels, like it was for so many people. And then on the backdrop here, several years ago, my dad and I painted this wall. It's kind of just been here in all of my videos. I think even the earliest of my videos, you can see this. It should be relatively familiar to many of you. But yeah, anyways, that is actually pretty much it. So that is almost everything, at least everything that I have at the moment that helps me run OC Racing. Hopefully this video was at least interesting, maybe insightful to some, and maybe a good time waster for you to enjoy your lunch. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think of this style of video. Of course, it's not at all like the things that I usually do, but I have enjoyed filming it, editing it, and so much more. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. As always, thank you all for watching. Stay safe and have a fantastic rest of your day.